What are you guys doing?
Listening to Christmas music and making cinnamon rolls.
Cinnamon rolls?
Yeah.
Woohoo!
I shouldn't say making cinnamon rolls.
We are making them from scratch.
Hot.
You're hot.
Hot.
They're hot.
Hey dude.
You're sexy.
It smells good.
Very hot, guys. Don't touch. Very hot. I mean, very hot. Please don't touch, Coda.
The one on top of that one is mine. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse ears?
Yeah. Look. Here's the ears. Yeah. And the cinnamon rolls are the other ears. Mickey Mouse.
Hey, eat up.
They're waving at me.
Hi sis, are you hungry? I can feed you now. Because sometimes moms just need Diet Coke. Hey, cool dude. What are you doing?
Oh,
You're playing over there? You're so cute. What are you doing?
Mommy, I'll see a trick.
I don't know. Oh yes, I'll see a trick with that.
I'll throw it in the air and make it on my hand.
That's cool. Oh, careful, baby. There's glass over there.
This is my circle going. And those are my signs.
Wow. Hey, come here. Come here. Your hair is awesome. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Storytime Sunday.
Welcome.
Today's story is a little bit difficult for us to share.
Yeah, we've even debated if we should tell the story because it's just one of those stories you don't like.
It's not fun.
Yeah, it wasn't a good one.
Yeah, when we were deciding, because it's been a while of us going back and forth on whether we should share it, we thought, you know what, we're documenting our life here. It happened. It was scary, it sucked, but it happened.
Yep.
So we're gonna tell it to you.
And it all starts with this amazing girl because she's so amazing and just amazing at everything and beautiful and everybody loves her.
No, not true.
That's basically where it starts.
Today's story is about my stalker. And I was going to call it I Had a Stalker, but Cody just scared me and said have, because we still don't know who it was. And we still, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess It all began when Cody and I first got married. I started getting Facebook friend requests, and the reason why it caught my attention was because it was always a weird random object for the profile picture, or even like a famous person, and the most random made up name. But every single time the information on the friend request was my birthday, my high school, and the 2 colleges that I attended. So that always caught me off guard. And I started...
It wasn't just like 1 or 2. It was like
5 a day.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. And think about how much work goes into making a Facebook profile. Like, you have to have a separate email address. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. And it was kind of creepy. I'm like, how does this person know my birthday and where I went to school?
Yeah.
And so I just told Cody one day, and I think it had even been happening for a few weeks before I told Cody, because at first I didn't think anything of it. And then I was like, this is super weird. I'm getting so many friend requests. You can tell they're bogus. They have no friends. They have no pictures, but it's all my information, and it's kind of scary.
Yeah. So I got pretty concerned. Like, what is this? Why is this happening? Who is it?
Yeah.
First off.
So I started getting curious, like, who the heck is this? They obviously know me. They obviously know something about me. So probably about 5 times, I would just, one of the friend requests, I would finally just get so annoyed that I would message that person, and I would say, who is this? And sometimes I'd get a response and sometimes I wouldn't, and they'd say, what do you mean? Who is this? And I'm like, stop messing with me. Like, I know this is the same person sending me all these friend requests. Who is it? Like, who is this? And what do you want? Type of a thing. Well, this went on for a full year.
Yeah, not like consistently, but like off and on.
Off and on. It would come and it would stop for a little bit, and then it would happen again. And so at this point, we'd been married for a year, and we had just had Dakota. He was actually 5 months old when we moved in with my parents. And so we were living in the house that I pretty much grew up in, where I lived for high school and everything. So Cody and I were living there.
Just in the basement.
In the basement with my family. All my siblings were still at home. And Dakota, he was just a tiny little baby, only a month older than McKinley. And they started back up, and a lot more frequently. And so I finally told Cody, I'm like, look at this, it's happening again, and they won't stop. I think one day I sent like 3 messages, like, who is this? Like, what do you want? Finally, it was one of those messages when I got so frustrated, they messaged me back. And
yeah, you showed me it.
Yeah, this is when I got super scared, because they said, you looked so beautiful today. And I was like,
yeah.
Wait, what? And they said, I saw you at Walgreens with Dakota. You looked so beautiful. That's when my heart stopped beating in my chest.
Yeah, that's when it gets real. Like, this person saw me.
Yeah, like they know my baby's name, first of all. They know my son's name. They knew where I was. Dakota and I were alone at this store. Like, that scared me to death, because instead of just feeling like it was someone just wanting to be friends with me on Facebook, I'm like, this person is really trying to keep tabs on me. And they did. They knew where I was today, and they were secretly watching me. So I got super scared. I instantly started crying. And I don't know, I don't even think I can explain the terror that came over me. Just the thought in my mind of me and my baby walking through a store and being watched.
Yeah.
So I told Cody right away, and I was like, can you believe this? Like, look at what they just said to me. And he got mad, and he was like, are you kidding me?
Infuriated me.
I think we questioned them somehow, like, you were not at Walgreens, and they said, I took Kenzie's wallet out of her purse while she was shopping, and I snuck it back in without her ever noticing. And I don't know, that
could have been a lie.
That could have been a lie. We don't know. That could have been them messing with us. But at the same time, it's like, what if they did? What if they were that close to me, you know, and that close to Dakota, and I didn't even realize it? So that scared me.
Yeah, and then we just kept messaging, or I got on and started messaging him, like, who do you think you are? Like, you don't...
Well, we just kept asking, who is this? And I know this might sound messed up, because I never want to accuse someone of something, but obviously my first thought was ex-boyfriends. You know, like, they're close to me. They cared about me at one point. I don't know if they still do. And so obviously those were like my first choices. So we started writing out names. Like, is this you? Is this you? And they wouldn't tell us who they were. And I couldn't, with how they were talking, I have no idea who it was. And so Cody started getting obviously protective and mad. things escalated super quickly when this person responded to Cody and said, Dakota is my son, and someday he will know the truth. He said, I will tell him who his real father is. I don't even know. Like, he instantly, and for good reason, I don't
swear, and I was swearing at this person.
He was
like, I never swear.
Ever.
And yeah, that...
I had never seen him so mad, ever. And I still, to this day, have never, ever seen him that mad. And I just instantly started bawling. Like, what are they talking about? And they kept saying Dakota, and I don't know why it bugged me so bad that they were saying his name. Obviously, these were pretty bold statements and big claims that this person was making. And the fact that he said when he's old enough, I will tell him, that just brings to your attention that this person is going to be watching my son or try to contact him or go near him. And that scared us to death. And that's when we both started seeing fire. And Cody said, if you ever come near him, like, so help me. And
yeah, well, just like accusing my wife of like cheating on me and that my son isn't my son. Like, that's something you just don't say. That's...
Well, and then they just started taunting Cody. They could tell how upset he was. And like he said, he started to swear. And they said, oh, wow, we thought you were some awesome religious person. Doesn't sound like it. And like, they were just pushing his buttons, like trying to make him more and more mad. And that was weird to me because I'm like, how do they know what Cody's like? Yeah. Like, what, who is this? And so that was the biggest frustration, is just not knowing who it was. These claims were really big and really serious. And especially when they said they saw us at the grocery store and that they took my wallet out of my purse and put it back. That's when I was like, we need to call the cops, and we need to call them right now. So that's exactly what we did. We called the cops. We had them come to my parents' house. Our last couple messages to this person was, we're calling the cops right now. Like, we're gonna show them these messages. We're gonna tell them what you told us. We're calling the cops right now. This is ridiculous. Like, you need to leave us alone.
Like, cops can trace IP addresses where they come from. Yeah.
My dad was out of town. It was just my mom and Cody and I and like my younger siblings. And a police officer came to our house, and it was only a few minutes before he got there that I went back to this profile, because I'm like, I'm gonna show him this profile. They can trace the IP address and find this guy. And it had been deleted. The actual like Facebook account had been disabled or whatever you do. And for some stupid reason, I don't know if it's different today. This was in 2010. This was 11. This was 6 years ago. But after they had disabled their account or deleted their account, you could no longer trace it, which was ridiculous and so stupid and so frustrating.
Yeah.
Because, it just made me so mad. We told the cop, we showed him every single message. He read over our talking back and forth with this person. And he said, that is a very serious claim, that he saw you and your son at the store and that he took your wallet out of your purse and put it back. So he said, I'm going to go to the Walgreens right now. We're gonna check security footage and we're gonna see what we can see. Luckily, they didn't see anyone come near my purse or take my wallet. But still, this person knew that Dakota and I were at Walgreens, and they knew what I looked like that day when I was at Walgreens. So that was scary. So we were up super late. It was probably like 12:30, 1 in the morning at this point. And we had been talking back and forth with the cops, and finally we decided, let's just all go to bed. We were all upset. I couldn't stop crying. I was shaking. So we all just said, let's go to bed. We'll try to think about this more tomorrow. My mom and my younger siblings went to bed, but my sister Shelby wasn't home. She was out on a date. And Cody and I, we went downstairs with Dakota down to our room, and we
had the worst feeling.
The worst. Like, I don't even know how to explain it.
And it wasn't so much what happened. It's like, we feel uncomfortable now.
Something's going to happen right now. And I don't know, guys. I've never been scared like that. Anyone who's known me my whole life, you can back me up. I'm the person that's like, bring it on. Like, I dare you. I don't know.
She's a scary movie queen.
Well,
like,
and not only that, but just like,
things.
I don't know. I used to think I was a lot tougher than I am. Like, I was like, I can handle myself. Like, I dare someone to try to do that to me. And so I had never, ever been scared like this before. Ever. Like, walking through a dark parking lot alone, never has it even crossed my mind. And at this moment, we were just scared. We had the worst feeling in our stomach. We couldn't even put Dakota.
Just this feeling of like unease.
Yeah.
Like,
We couldn't even put Dakota in his crib that was 4 feet from our bed because we were so uneasy. We had him in our bed right between us, and we were just laying there awake in bed. Like, I think I was still crying. Cody was stressed out of his mind. We had the worst feeling ever. So as we're laying there, feeling this complete unsettling, uneasy feeling, my sister, Shelby, screams bloody murder, and I hear her sprint across our house towards my mom's bedroom. We shoot out of bed. I grab Dakota, and Cody and I go running upstairs. We get to the top of the stairs, and Shelby says, there was a guy on our front porch. Next to my parents' front door, they have this like...
stained glass.
Not stained glass. It's like the
tempered,
bubbled, foggy glass that you put like by a shower or something. So you can't clearly see through it like a normal window, but you can see a silhouette. And so she was turning off the lights and was heading downstairs, and she saw a man standing there at our front door through that window. And she said she just stood there, and the second she screamed, she said he turned and walked away. She said he didn't run. He wasn't scared. He just slowly turned and walked away. Yeah. So as soon as she said that, Cody takes off outside.
Yeah, I grabbed my knife and just, not thinking, just run outside like, I'm gonna do something. Like,
he had a pocket knife, you guys, and I was scared to death. So I locked the door because I'm like, I don't want this person running in there, and I'm standing by the front door holding Dakota, crying my eyes out, shaking, thinking that Cody's going out there to fight this person who's been stalking me.
Yeah, and apparently I was too late. I couldn't find anybody.
Luckily, I was so thankful he couldn't find anyone. But so then we called the cops again. And the same police officer, and we told him what had happened. And he said he was going to park out there, and he was going to be patrolling the house and the street and watching to make sure no one came or went. You can imagine we had the hardest time sleeping that night. It doesn't end there. The very next day, we had one of Cody's best friends from high school. We had his wedding down in Payson. We got ready, we got Dakota ready, and we made the drive to Payson. So 45 minutes from my parents' house, kind of a long ways. And we go into this reception, we're there for a few hours. We come out, and all 4 tires had the air let out of all 4 of our tires. Yep, they weren't popped.
I did not even remember that.
You didn't?
No, I had totally forgot about that.
All 4 of our tires, they weren't popped. Someone had let the air out of all 4 tires of our car. We drove across the street and we pumped them back up at the gas station. But again, that feeling of us being watched and followed and someone knowing where we are all the time. And I don't know, I feel like that tire thing was almost like I'm here, I'm watching you. Like, you're almost an hour from home, but I'm still here. And that was really scary to me.
Yeah, that's not okay.
So the police officer, and I don't know who he worked with, a couple of the detectives, they tried to figure it out. They tried to trace the IP address. No such luck. They even went back through a couple of the other friend requests that I had been messaging that I knew was the same person, and they couldn't trace it. So I think that's the worst part of the story, is we still have no clue who it was.
Nope.
I don't know. It's super unsettling to me that someone knew where I was. They knew my son's name. I don't know, following us that far from home and just sending a clear message like, I'm here and I'm watching you. Luckily, there wasn't really anything after that.
Yeah, it just completely stopped. So
after that big event, that big build up and us being so scared, it just stopped. But it's weird because I'll go months without thinking anything about it. I don't know, I just won't even give it a second thought. And then there's some days where I feel that unease and I feel that unsettling, and I'll tell Cody, like, I was nervous today. Like, I was a little scared at the grocery store today, which is stupid. Like, I don't want to feel that way. So we've taken the proper precautions and steps, and there's still days where I get nervous and I'm scared, but we've done things we need to do to protect us and to protect me and the kids. You may be wondering why we would even start vlogging and putting our life and our family out there like this after we've had this experience.
You can't stop your life.
You can't stop.
If you let that stuff get to you, then they got to you.
Yeah. Right. I can't just shut my blinds and lock my doors and stay in my dark room for the rest of my life out of fear. You know what I mean? It was terrifying. It was an experience I hope to never repeat, ever. But we have to live. You know, we have to live our life. We have to raise our kids. We have to give them a good, fun, wholesome life. And we can't do that living in fear. So even though we still have no clue who it was.
That's the hardest part of the whole thing.
Well, and we've even talked about it, like, because like I said, I'm not saying anything bad about anyone that I've dated before Cody. But we've had the discussion of like, would we rather it be one of my exes or would we rather it be a complete stranger? And 100% all the time we say we would rather be an ex. Like, definitely. It's someone that was close to me that I spent a lot of time with, you know? That would make more sense than just some random person.
Some creeper.
Yeah. It's a scary, crazy thing. We still sometimes don't know what to fully think about it.
Yeah.
Like you saw, we try to block parts out, I think. And I'm sure there was more that happened that we can't even remember because it was traumatic. So like Cody, he didn't even remember the tires. It's just something that we try to block out. So that's the story of the time that I had a stalker, and it was really scary.
Yeah, not a fun one, but...
No, I'm thankful he was there.
Hope you liked the story.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I don't know.
You got something out of it. If not, sorry.
Just be safe, everyone, especially you younger kids. Be safe online. Don't post your location, especially when you're there or before you go. Don't tell people where you're gonna be. Keep yourself safe, but live life. Don't live in fear. Have fun.
Yep, life's meant for living, not for
being scared. Yep.
Just go out there and live your life. Make it a good one. Mm-hmm. And that's our story for today.
And have a great week, everyone.
Yep.
Make it a good one. We
Thanks
love
for
you
watching.
guys. See ya.